extra scenes or anything like that. They just kind of touched up.
Live.
No, they just kind of touched up the graphics to like be better in 4K kind of thing.
Oh,
That's it.
cool.
Nothing else.
Cool. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to excited. Anyway, we're up and running. We got to get the the thing.
Oh, the thing.
Yes.
With the stuff too, or
it's our stuff with the thing. Don't quit. I'm not gonna quit. Oh right, I didn't fucking practice guitar today. Oh well, maybe tomorrow. Like,
I didn't know you were playing guitar, dude.
Huh?
That's cool. I didn't know you were playing the guitar.
Yeah, Hannah got one of my good friends who also is a musician down here. There's a whole Facebook post on it. I'll link it later, but yeah, cool. It's something that I've been thinking about for a while, and finally I'm just like, well, let's just get it going so I can, because there's money to be made with that stuff too, if I so desire.
Potentially, yeah. So I got through, I've got feedback now from 3 beta readers, so I'm actually making some progress on the book. Nice. I've got an editor too. Like this is moving ahead.
I should probably press play on the loading screen. There we go. All right, game's loading.
Cool. But yeah, so no, things are actually progressing on it. It's freaking awesome and scary as hell, man.
Yeah. Who's excited for Discovery Season 6?
Why?
Because they decided that it's gonna be a thing.
Okay, but like, what did I do to deserve it? Like,
I don't know. Like, it was funny because I know. I remember it. Like, so many people were so excited. Oh, Discovery's canceled! Yay! And I'm like, is it though? Because they've already talked about Starfleet Academy, and it's going to take place in the 32nd century where we take Discovery. And I'm like, so it's just Discovery Season 6? Like Scrubs Season 9? Like that's the vibe I'm getting here.
God, Scrubs Season 9.
Yeah. Between watching the Disney sequel trilogy and Scrubs season, dude, Cobain me right now.
Oh God. Dude, the idea that we have to potentially watch another season of Disco.
I don't even. I mean, on the one hand, they got Robert Picardo in there, so that's pretty cool. But on the other hand,
yeah, but this feels like I'm going to be going through a wood chipper, unmentionables first.
That's exactly like those. Those are some of my preliminary thoughts here, because I just,
it's like being asked to eat, like, I don't know, rotten food or something like that. Like it's just no. My survival instincts don't want to let me.
Right.
So what do you think of my emergency moon base here?
Very clever. I love it.
Well, you know how it is. The moose hutted scene, needs a rest every once in a while. So.
Absolutely. All right. Let's see. Do we have anything else we need to leak out right now? I think we've got everything covered. Oh wait. Closed captioning is unavailable. That's probably next.
Yeah, that just makes it easier to count the number of curse words we use.
Jackass in the chat already.
Really? This early?
It's me, but I still count.
Oh, yeah.
One day, that's what it's gonna be, is how long does it take the jackasses to find us?
And there's some dude in there spoiling Andor.
Oh, yeah, man, come on. Season 3 hasn't even released yet. Come on. Actually, we're gonna quick little there we go. Since John wants to put his face in the corner.
Morality.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. Join us for a special all-United States edition of the Entertainment Information Intelligence Podcast. And welcome, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's Entertainment Information Intelligence Podcast. Joining us, of course, are hosted live from Key West, Florida. Joining us, however, from the semi-okay state of Indiana, it's Corione. Corione, how does it feel?
I don't know what you're saying, man. If you take a look, 404, location not found.
Right, yes, yeah. So, how does it feel to finally be back home in the motherland of the United States? Like, are you adjusting well? Did the time change going to Central Time?
No,
did you get time
honestly,
sickness?
It feels really weird, man. Like, just being here, I want to own a gun and drive on the interstate at 40 miles an hour.
Yeah, no, I remember driving at 40 kilometers an hour thinking, oh, wow, it's 40 in this neighborhood. This does not feel that fast. Okay, then.
That's it.
Yeah, hey, everything's bigger in kilometers, though, right? The lovely Sherry says, hello. Hello, Sherry. Welcome. Good to see you again. Glad you're here. We've got quite a bit to get into, but I'm trying to competently remember where. There we go. There's our intelligence music, so we can now discuss things of importance in the pop culture world. But also joining us from the other semi-okay state of Idaho is Pollo Zapatos. Pollo,
I'm poor tonight. When you say semi-okay, what you do mean is in financial dire straits.
Financial shithole that is 2025. Yes, that is being a millennial in 2025. You either own like 8 properties or you're homeless. There's no in between right now.
Your daddy either gifts you property from his estate.
Now, John, come on now. Those kids work hard kissing daddy's ass.
Or his daddy doesn't pay his employees enough and you're one of those.
Yeah.
I'm one of those.
I'm one of those struggling, millennial types that's obviously too lazy to own a house, so therefore,
stop eating all that avocado toast.
Scumbag alert.
It's my fault that BlackRock, an independent private corporate entity, is legally allowed to own residential property.
No, you're just lazy. Lazy.
That's on me.
Lazy
I
millennial.
Been born 30 years ago and tried to. Oh wait, I was born 30 years ago and I still don't have a democratic voice.
Anyway, and we never will. And by the time we do, we'll realize, oh wait, it was all crap anyway. Okay,
Okay,
trying to get
that's
my
when I
mouse
go,
to
"Oh,
redraw
that's
itself.
what I was doing the podcast for."
Right, yeah. No, back to pop culture, the stuff that actually matters. Paul Giamatti has continued to find work. I said he found work again in the short, but that might have been a little too short-sighted. And
Um,
I may have, I don't know. We gotta watch Adams. I heard Adams from HBO was really good.
yeah, I've heard good things about it.
So we might have to. But from the playlist, Paul Giamatti experiences the eerie stillness of Black Mirror and teases being a bad guy in Starfleet Academy. Corion, you had a little bit of the intel drop on this. Want to give us a little bit of a sampler platter here?
Yeah, let me see if I can bring that up for you here as I delve into the darkness that is the are my notes here. You'll have to excuse me; it's not my normal place. Most of my stuff is still in the Moose Hut. So
I thought you said that was the Moose Hut.
no, this is the moon base I'm borrowing for a couple of days.
Okay. So you're on the moon right now. All right. So how many Cubans do I have to smoke to get there myself?
I mean, if Cubans are legal where you are, I would say 4 or 5. But
Legal was that's a very assumptive and strong word. Kind of like, they just don't really care, so to speak. It's like marijuana in Idaho. They smell it, but they're like, I really don't want to do the paperwork today.
So I'm assuming you guys are not particularly interested in his appearance as, in Black Mirror, because I mean it's a one-shot kind of thing, and he's going to be playing, your standard like Paul Giamatti character in it.
Paul Giamatti. So there's like really a 99% chance he dies. Spoiler alert. Spoiler theory. Now, I don't know.
Now in Star Trek Starfleet Academy, he is supposedly going to be playing a professor, is what I understand. From what I've been told.
And well, that's suddenly. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Well, that's suddenly. Honestly, I'm not too excited for Star Trek Discovery Season 6, but I don't know. I mean, we got Giamatti as a villain, now he's playing a professor villain, so
yeah.
Oh, great. So,
and apparently he has a lot of fun with the role. Giamatti apparently has been a very, very big Star Trek fan for a very long time, and he's super excited about the opportunity to be part of the Star Trek world involvement. So like he's really down for it. He's going to be working under the chancellor for the academy, and apparently the chancellors are going to be in on some of the screwing over the students at the academy kind of stuff for the first season at least.
Well, I mean we'll see. I mean, we got Robert Picardo reprising his role as the Doctor, so
right, it could be good.
It could. We'll see. It's there's going to be enough time passed since Discovery. So all right, moving on. Weapons. First look. Barbarian director makes his horror epic with Julia Garner and Josh Brolin. Whoa, I like that last name drop.
Yeah. So this one looks like an interesting horror movie. It's from an actor who's made some. Barbarian was a fantastic movie, and it already had Barbarian had like what I would like to call a light horror vibe. So if he's going for full on insanity horror kind of stuff, this could be very good.
Yeah, so from the article, the moment the clock turned 2:17 a.m. on a seemingly random Wednesday morning, 17 children in the fictional Pennsylvania town of Maybrook woke from their beds, exited their homes, and ran into the night. They never came back. Why did they do it? What happened to them? Are they still alive? Director Zach Kreger didn't have those answers when he started writing Weapons. It was a similar approach he took with his 2022 instant horror hit Barbarian. I didn't have an outline. I didn't know what it was about. Kreger tells Entertainment Weekly of his buzz about next project in an exclusive interview. It was just like, let the movie show itself to me. I want to watch this movie as I'm writing it. That's a interesting technique.
Yeah, actually, it's called, believe it or not, that writing style is called active directing. And I actually use that in my writing too, where I don't really have a preset notion of other than like the main beats that have to be hit, and I kind of put my characters in place in the scene and just kind of let it mentally flow through and see what happens, and if it's good I write it down. So I imagine he's doing something similar.
Yeah. No, that's kind of like, I definitely prefer to have goalposts myself, but even then those
Right.
goalposts are never hard markers to hit. It's more about, okay, you have the you kind of have the beginning, you kind of have the ending, and then it's like how you get there, that's what changes throughout. So
Yeah. And it just kind of run, you just kind of run along it. And I had a moment in while I was writing, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna add this character here, and blah, blah, oh, and this is great, and oh, I'm gonna have to kill this character off at some point. Okay. Kind of thing. Like
right.
those kind of moments, right?
Yeah. No, definitely. Well, that could be an interesting story. I mean, who knows?
Dude, when it comes to horror, though, I feel like that's the most fun way to write, because now there are no jump scares that anybody's ready for. Like, even the director didn't see that coming until it came.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
No, it sounds like fun, man. I'm down for it.
Up next, Stream It or Skip It, Ash on VOD, a trippy but familiar sci-fi excursion from filmmaker Flying Lotus. Fresh from Space Madness Theater is Ash, a stylish sci-fi scarefest from director Flying Lotus. Lotus. I'm an idiot. The film is essentially a two-hander starring Ezra Gonzalez and Aaron Paul as interstellar travelers marooned on a distant planet, trying to figure out how they got there and how to get the hell back off. Lotus is best known as a multi-hyphenate artist with a significant music biz career who branched off into filmmaking with 2017 Shudder exclusive Kuso, followed by some short films, one made the cut for VHS, and then Ash, which stirred some cult-level interest with an XSSW debut and brief national theatrical run. Whether the movie exhibits some substance beneath its style is what we're exploring today. Stream it or skip it. Ash opens with images of melting Andor exploding faces. Okay. Which is one hell of a reverse Raiders of the Lost Ark maneuver. Okay. They seem like hallucinations or bad dreams, and they might be, as Raya awakens on the floor of a spaceship and all the stuff of an interstellar mission that's gone terribly awry. Flickering lights, dead bodies, blood on her hands, amnesia, the overheard... Yeah, geez, reading this article, I'm getting bored. Like, yeah, no, I feel like I've already seen this one before.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it because it's new to streaming this week. But this sounds like the kind of horror sci-fi we have seen a million times before.
Yeah. Amnesia? That one's been done all the time.
Yeah, so, I mean, personally, my view after reading the articles and looking into it, I would say it's a skip, but because it's new, I figured it was worth a mention.
Well, and that's what we do, is we take the entertainment information and we analyze it. All right, next up is The Death of Snow White, a 2025 American dark fantasy horror film directed and written and produced by Jason Brooks. The film is a horror reimagining of Snow White and stars Sine Lautis, Lautzis, and Chelsea Edmondson.
Yeah, so this is following in the what seems to be happening these last couple of years where Disney produces something and somebody immediately makes the horror version of it. Which I suppose is better than the other genre that tends to lampoon recently popular things.
Yeah.
right? And when you think about it, Snow White is a pretty decent space to have a horror movie, right? I mean, Anne Rice famously did Sleeping Beauty as a vampire, so I mean, I suppose it can work.
Yeah, I mean, after the last Snow White, what could you do wrong at this point? I mean, watch this one gross way more than Disney. Seriously, like. Yeah, when is this out?
That wouldn't be hard though, man.
No, I say we all go see it just to show Disney that we did want to see Snow White.
Oh, it's already out. It's already out as of April 18th. So, in the United States.
Yeah, so it's out there.
So, well, that's cool. All right.
Yeah, I thought it was worth mention. So,
Chronos: The New Dawn, upcoming 2025 survival horror. Well, maybe probably 2026 or 2027. Survival horror game developed and published by Bloober Team. This game is scheduled to release for the PS5, Windows, and Xbox in 2025. Ah, well, sucks to be you, Switch 2. All right,
so this is kind of what's new in video game news, is that this is coming out, and supposedly it's quite good. All the reviews and information I've managed to strangle out of beta players say it's quite good. So we'll see what comes from it. But that being said, I mean, it's a survival horror game in a wasteland. We've seen this a million times before.
Oh, yeah, that looks like Fallout.
Yeah. This is Fallout set in Poland, so like Fallout inside Fallout.
So a more miserable Fallout. Okay.
Yeah. Fallout plus depression.
All right. And now, quick mention.
Witcher Fallout? Is Cyberpunk or is CD Projekt Red just trying to steal everything from Bethesda?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Timey-wimey-limey says Blandor. Yeah, probably.
There you go.
This 52nd Saturn Awards.
Yeah, so the Saturn Awards are coming up. And,
hosted by Joel
there's
McHale.
A couple of interesting...
Coming up. These happen on the 2nd of February.
Well, okay, this is when... Well, that's when the nominees were announced. I think it's this week that they come out.
Is it?
If I remember correctly.
No, it's saying the date was the 52nd. Or, sorry, 2nd of February. Yeah, ceremony was held February 2nd, 2025.
Okay.
So.
Well, this is the final pieces I've seen for it, but Dune Part 2 got 5 awards. Cobra Kai, Fallout, and The Penguin also won.
Fallout, and actually that all makes sense. I've heard nothing but good things about all of those shows. So that makes sense. All right, so we got the last 30 minutes. Timey-wimey says Blandor. Oh, that's probably in reference to the most exciting show ever, Star Wars Andor.
Andor what?
Andor Season 2. Or as the porno enthusiasts might call it, and whore.
Right. I mean, it has been interesting seeing the darker, grittier side of the rebellion so far. I will say that for sure.
It's not... Look, there are things about Star Wars that I really do think, really push the edge. And if we're gonna have this in our shows, and we're gonna have our kids watching this stuff, it's gonna mean that we're gonna have some uncomfortable conversations. And I really wish I invested a little. Well, hold on. I want to finish because I had a great idea for this, but it's taking too long to make it happen. So we'll just do it this way. It's like, oh, this isn't even the official one. Go ahead, John. I'll interrupt you when I'm ready.
Okay, so I took my 4-year-old to see Star Wars Revenge of the Sith in theaters because they did a rescreening this weekend for the 20th anniversary. And I'm going to be honest, I don't remember there being 30 seconds of footage around Count Dooku's hands and head being on the floor. If you guys remember, when Anakin cuts off Count Dooku's head, there's a linger that happens. And if you're watching it on a small 50-inch TV or a 55-inch TV, you can almost immediately skip past it. But when you're watching in the movie theater and the hands are as big as your head, I could not stop staring. Like, I legitimately don't remember what Palpatine says after that or what Anakin says after that. I was just staring at Count Dooku's hands and half of his head in the back. Like, don't tell me Andor Season 2 is the darkest part of Star Wars. I have yet to see a hand removed in Andor.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's the darkest.
Well, hold on.
I'm saying, though, it is like a much grittier...
Yeah,
no, I'm not. I mean more to the people, anybody that says that Andor Season 2 went too far, complain about Revenge of the Sith, and I'll agree with you. If you don't complain about Revenge of the Sith, grow up and rewatch
we need to talk about this, okay? Because when these things happen, when we have this, and our children see it, alright, we need to have the conversations, okay? How does this belong in a kid's trilogy?
When you let Princess Leia...
I don't know, but I think it belongs in my dreams.
You justify everything that just happened.
There are two schools of thought. First of all, I don't shame Carrie for doing this by any means. This is not where we're going here. But let's face facts. In universe, in the movie, this is disgusting. You're supposed to be disgusted with it. You're not supposed to be turned on. You're supposed to see this and go, oh God, she's been taken advantage of. Because what do you think happened?
Dude, I don't know if you remember the part where Annie goes, I'm not a slave, I'm a boy.
Right. I'm a person, my name is Anakin. It's
almost like Star Wars actually acknowledged what happens when you allow for libertarian ethics at a galactic scale. Almost always, human trafficking continues to occur.
Now,
kind of like the modern world.
I will capitulate that it could have been a little bit more smartly written. Maybe we don't need to say the word out loud, but now that we have, let's maybe just leave it alone for a while.
Dude, okay, that is the big thing. Don't make this a new thing with every episode where it's like, oh, and then she gets beaten harder. It's like, okay, now you're really driving this dead horse dead.
Right, but, yeah.
So instead of that word, should we use unpaid intern?
No. Taking advantage, stealing what doesn't belong to you. Like,
problem with that word.
Like, yes, I'm glad to see that people are bothered by somebody taking advantage of their position and attempting to extort, gross favors out of it. That makes me hopeful for society. But at the same time, you can't... Everyone wants to get all mad about escapism Star Wars being ruined. Okay, George Lucas was not... He said very clearly who the Galactic Empire is based off of. And if the Galactic Empire is based off of a certain German time period, then that means all of that history is on the table to be put in the universe.
Actually, I am going to ask a question, though, and I think this is very important. Given that Jabba is like a huge fat slug, did George Lucas know about Harvey Weinstein at that point, and was that the allegory he was trying to draw?
I'm gonna be honest. I think he was just talking about the
George Lucas didn't kill himself.
That don't actually produce anything in general.
Yeah.
The non-productionist part of our wealth gap.
Like, I get it. Okay, we don't want to have this be the tonight's episodes, I should say. Tonight's Star Wars Andor movie, because that's basically what we're getting for the remainder of Andor is little Star Wars movies. Needs to be, a bit more Star Wars. Like, and then everyone's complaining about Mon Mothma dancing to cringe. Like, it's not 90s music. The music they're dancing to sounds like otherworldly, but it sounds like what I would expect to listen to.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest, it felt like an ethereal rave that I would only enjoy on drugs. Which is what I would describe most classical music as.
Yeah, like, I mean, we just watched, I believe at least the three of us, I think, watched Revenge of the Sith in theaters just recently.
I will tomorrow.
I mean, there's that like water opera thing that Palpatine goes to. Yo, man, that had like weird ass music too.
Yeah, even the soundtrack. On the soundtrack, it's weird to listen to, because they, it's Williams includes the ooh thing or whatever, but then it leads into the actual, bits of music that are sinister and, well, I mean, they're really good, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it is a weird track, right? I mean, Star Wars listens to weird music.
It does. It does.
Yeah. Except for, of course, the greatness that is the Max Reboot Jizz Band. Well, and yes, that's the actual name of it.
Of course. Who doesn't like the Max Reboot, so. Jay Ghost says post-Jizz fusion.
There you go.
There it is. Drake and Blaze says here, and Andor's God tier. Well, welcome, Drake and Blaze. If you want to sit in on the panel, same with you, Jay. Well, Jay already has access to the link, but Drake and Blaze, if you want to crash the show, let me know. Otherwise, please saturate the comment section. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We got about, probably 19 minutes of airtime left planned because Andor's going to come on and, half our viewership's going to go run to Andor, even though no one's watching it. Which, okay, that brings me to...
I'm watching it purely for the articles, man.
Here comes another bit that we do need to examine and discuss about that, because yes, it is a valid point that we aren't getting, the viewer for Star Wars has been bad. Well, part of that is because, the release schedule, Skeleton Crew was poorly released. And I say that with great emphasis because we tried to follow it weekly, but we couldn't because, well, what is it that we do when the holidays come? We take breaks, like everybody else. So, the rest of the world still functions on the standard schedule. Kids still go to school in the fall time. That's people in the wintertime, folks tend to go home and relax, and that's why primetime entertainment was always what it was, because there was an audience there, because, well, working class America doesn't want to do anything after work except sit in front of the TV and ignore their children, or have it as family time, whatever. The whole point that I'm trying to make is Skeleton Crew came out, like, right before Thanksgiving or something, or was it December, whatever?
Right around it.
It released during the holidays.
Wasn't it like after Thanksgiving break?
But before Christmas, yeah.
Right smack on Christmas.
Just about.
Like it released on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, one of the episodes.
Something like that.
The idiots in charge wonder why there has been a plummet in Star Wars, and it's like, watch our channel and we'll tell you, because we can pinpoint it with expert precision months before your release schedule goes active. It's almost like we're great QA, but keep trusting the guys you're paying for it. They're steering you in the wrong direction.
Keep paying your yes men. Of course, they wouldn't be very good yes men if you didn't pay them. I don't know. You can pay us all the money you want. You're gonna get an honest review regardless. We don't do fluff. And even if they try to say, well, how about an extra billion? How about an extra? Go yourself.
No, dude, I'll fluff nuts, but I'll tell everybody right at the beginning, I'm about to slob a knob. This is not my real opinion. I was paid extra for this juicy slurp. And that's how I'll start my review.
Carl's Jr.
I'm taking it the wrong
way. I will happily sponsor Carl's Jr. on this channel, but I'm going to do it my way, which means I'm going to end each bit with quoting Idiocracy. I'm gonna have to do a fake Carl's Jr. ad next week to show you guys what I'm talking about.
And I'm gonna end it my way. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
We're sued now. Yeah. Whatever it takes to get us unshadow banned, I guess. Yeah. I showed someone our channel today, and we don't show up when the YouTube search. It's great. So, yeah, everybody watching, liking, subscribe. It's word of mouth is the only way we're beating the game at this point. So, our loyal fans, look, you guys might not think it takes much. We're one of the few channels that's not going to be asking for money because we're going to be as self-funded as we can. And honestly, I'd rather do little 45-second plugs and just do advertising to fund this space. Or we monetize the traditional way, whatever. But until we get to that point, we need you guys. We need your help. We love you guys in the chat. It helps saturate. We appreciate you guys lurking. We need you guys to be sharing, getting the word out there. If you want to help us grow, help us succeed, it's down to us now. And that said, I'm going to be investing some money in some ads for the channel. So it's not going to be without effort on our end. Don't get us wrong. But we do appreciate the little bit of time spent to like, share, subscribe, and engage with us in the chat. Makes it all the more fun.
Oh, yeah.
But the other thing is, yeah, the release schedule's bad. So October 22nd, yeah, we got Andor. We also got springtime after a fairly brutal winter. And, you know, after living in the Pacific Northwest for a couple of years and readjusting to seasons, that's when I learned that once that March, April time hits, them people ain't coming back to their TVs until frickin' fall. Like, it's outdoor activities galore.
I don't know about that. I mean, I enjoy me a good springtime and what have you, but I still like sitting in under the AC watching a movie every once in a while.
I do too. That's why we still show up every Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever we can day. Hey Jay, we'll see you Friday. For our various podcasts, but we also still have our lives, and I get it, you know, and so I'm grateful for everyone that is here. Those who are here in the beginning will not be forgotten. Those who get here when we're 5 billion strong, come on, do the math. Yeah. So, any thoughts for Andor Season 2, guys, now that we've touched on the fun parts of the topic?
Well, I think, honestly, Andor has had the right blend of humor and thought-provoking moments so far.
That I will agree with. It did have moments that I legitimately chuckled.
Yeah, like, you know, Andor, Cassian trying to very quietly steal a TIE Avenger was bloody hilarious, right? And just all the nonsense that he goes through in that whole process. You know, conversely, but then you've got, like, Mon Mothma making, you know, decisions on, you know, literally what she's willing to sacrifice, you know, to get ahead in the great game. Right. So I feel like it's got the right blend, and there are some really thought-provoking moments, at least in the first three. And if that keeps up, I mean, we're in for a good ride this whole way through.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's cool though, because each little 3-episode, each little movie, because that's pretty much what the time comes out to, it is a contained story, and it moves the timeline ahead. And it's nice because we're also finishing up this era, so we're not going to be stuck here anywhere. Apparently they wanted to do like 3 or 4 seasons of Andor, and they're just like, still like, no, finish it.
Yeah, we're only doing the 2.
Yeah, we're only doing the 2. Although we have heard that Andor Season 3 will actually be a mini series movie, just a standalone film.
Really?
Yeah, called Rogue One. So
I hadn't heard that. Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah. Also
when is it due out?
I don't know. I'm also gonna have to check out that Revenge of the Sith that came out this weekend. I heard that one was really good too.
Yeah, it was quite enjoyable. Yeah,
definitely.
I actually did, believe it or not, I actually did a review on my channel for it.
I did see that, and I watched 30 seconds, and I clicked the like button, and I'm gonna have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, it's actually, you know, the basic premise I went with is Revenge of the Sith is a Greek tragedy done in sci-fi.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So.
No, that's exactly what I would call it. especially after learning the finer differences between Shakespeare and Greek tragedies. Like,
yep.
The amount of random stuff that gets dropped on the audience in a Greek tragedy versus the amount of you have to listen closely that gets dropped on a Shakespearean audience. Yeah, Star Wars is Greek. And in that essence, it's like, now why are we still debating on whether or not it's good? Because A, it already had the early adapters, the mid adapters, and the late adapters. Then it had an outpouring of anti appreciation, mostly from the people that are like, oh, this is just mainstream media or mainstream thought that people like Star Wars. It's not a real thing. Only nerds like it. And now we're at this stage where, like, no, all of those people were wrong, but they're still in charge. Like, the people that told George Lucas originally don't do Star Wars are still in charge. The idiots that did what they did with Acolyte, still in charge. The idiots that did what they did with all of the Marvel and Star Wars IP, still in charge. Like, we say we learn from our mistakes. I'm tired of actually trusting people that say that.
Yeah.
You either actionably change or you're just trying to get me to buy your BS.
Well, I'm not trying to get you to buy my BS. I'm trying to get you to buy my book, which happens to be BS. So.
Right, yeah, same here. But I gotta finish my BS too. So, I gotta finish editing. I gotta take up new hobbies. I gotta edit more video. I gotta do all this stuff. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Sounds like you need a vacation from your not working.
I need a vacation from my vacation lifestyle. Yes, that's what I need. No, I just need to figure out the magic formula to the sleep equation. Because once I can get sleep, I can be productive again.
Oh, dude, I have that if you want it.
Yeah. Thanks.
No, seriously. You can actually get it at CVS. It's called Valerian Root. It smells like feet, but it will knock you out for 8 hours.
Huh? I'll have to, give that one a try.
But just be warned, it smells like, feetsies that have been on a march for a while.
Wait, how do you know what that smells like?
I'm not at liberty to say.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like something a stormtrooper would say.
Right, exactly. That sounds like Imperial propaganda. All right, well. I don't have much else at this point. We've got 8 minutes to the new Andor. We've covered our pop culture for the night. Or do we have any we heard something about Kathleen Kennedy, didn't we? Yeah, we've got some Kennedy
we've got
juice.
We've got some Cameron juice here. Let me bring it up.
Yeah, if you can, that'd be great. I'd just like to thank our sponsor, Jay Ghost, Drake and Blaze, Timey Wimey Limey, and the lovely Sherry for commenting on tonight's show. We appreciate it. But yeah, I think
it's gonna take me a second because I'm on my remote.
Then I should be able to.
Maybe.
Quick.
Here we go. All right. Oh yeah, so here we go. This is an interesting story. Let me pipe it over to you. See if this works. PD, it should be in the Discord there.
All right, I think I got it. Here we are from the Patreon of Cameron Pasha. It would appear that it has been confirmed. It was initially reported when Kennedy was selling her home that her art was supposedly on the market, but we didn't have any evidence. Well, thanks to Stephanie Janizek, we found proof that she is indeed selling her fine artwork. So,
and that's really interesting because usually you don't sell your art, you hold on to it, or if you're going to get rid of it, you donate it to a museum for a tax write-off or what have you, right?
Yeah.
So this is really unusual that somebody would just go out and straight up sell their art. It's really it heavily implies that they're short on cash for something,
which is crazy. I don't. It's
well. Here's the thing. There's an interesting piece that Cameron mentioned the last time he was on the show. Remember how he commented that Kathleen was threatened by Iger, that if her acolyte nonsense didn't make bank, she'd have to pay it back?
Yeah. Oh.
Huh.
Well.
Mouth meet money, money meet mouth, and now say goodbye.
That's it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, August can't come fast enough.
Yeah. I mean, the only other reason why I can think of that you would do this, and this is just, my wild ass theory, is, if maybe you were planning on leaving the country and not coming back and completely getting out of Hollywood, you'd sell your house and your artwork and whatnot and just leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Either way, it doesn't bode well for the people that are saying that Kennedy's going to be there for forever, right?
No, it does not. And this is not maybe she's just selling her all her art to get new art. And you know what? Blob's gonna blob, and I'm not really worried about it one way or the other, because we've continued on. And that's all we're going to continue doing. Now, are we going to gloat about Kennedy leaving? Well, some things have happened that have caused us to want to. We will get into that when the time comes. But it's just, we'll deal with it when the time comes. That's the other issue still.
Sure.
It still hasn't happened. And, could she pull the rug out from under us again and pull the wool? I don't know. But at the same time, everything keeps lining up towards, no, even the trades are now turning on her, and even Star Wars Celebration, as we went through last Wednesday, showed us that, yeah, no, even this is changing too. So, yeah. It's gonna happen. It's just, we gotta write it out some more, and we'll keep, as we get more information from inside Lucasfilm, Amazon, and Marvel, we'll of course report it to everybody here. So yeah. Anything else anybody want to promote or mention before we get out of here?
No, I think it's good. I'd like to go try to set up my my moon base here to get Disney Plus, so that I can try to do this for us here and watch it.
All right. Well, appreciate everyone's time once again, and
because it's actually uniquely hard to get satellite service on the moon.
I bet. I'm Peter York of the Ryder Brothers. We'll see you next week on the next D2IP. Good night. This has been a presentation of the Entertainment Information Intelligence Podcast from the Ryder Brothers. The Ryder Brothers, restoring respect into discourse.